Good morning. How are you all? Fantastic. Great. Well, it's wonderful that you're all here on this holiday weekend. I'm Cindie Leitman. I'll be your host for today. And welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma, those in person here today and those of you online. Our musicians today are Terry O'Hara on the piano, Benny Yangco on the clarinet, and our special guest musician today is Jim Valley. Our audiovisual team is Erik Perrohe and Ronald up there. Our practitioners today are Laura Bentle on platform. This is platform, but she's there. Okay. And Bev Holland holding a high watcher consciousness in the back. And today's message will be given by Mona Williams, our lead practitioner. Yeah. So if you are here for the first time, we're glad you have chosen to visit us, and we would like to acknowledge you being here. We are a friendly, handshaking, meet and greet community, yet we recognize and respect everyone is not so gregarious as we are. If you're comfortable raising your hand, please do so we can welcome you. Who's new? One. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take a moment to remember who we are and what we believe. The Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. We embody an understanding of our oneness with Source. We are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. Our vision is to create a world that works for everyone. And we do this in many ways. By practicing meditation and prayer, offering a spiritual home, teaching universal spiritual principles, giving consciously, living in the present moment, the now, engaging in a life of service, and providing a pathway to peace of mind. And now, our minister's moment with Reverend Karen. I would just like to remind the audience that this is Reverend Karen's last minister's moment. And so let us thank her for being here for so many months. We're a little glitchy, but it'll come. Okay.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Ah, there we go. Okay. Can you still hear me? Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry about the glitches. There's some glitches this morning, I guess, but we're here and I'm very, very happy to be here. And yeah, thank you, Cindie. It is my last time with you, and I am going to do the gratitudes first, and then I have a little statement I want to read. Um, Wishing, well, not wishing, I know. So, anyway, first on my list of ministers' moment today is I'd like to welcome a new member. We have a new member. His name is Roger Henderson. I do not know if he's in the house, but I'd like to welcome him. Yay, Roger. And I'm going to jump in to our gratitudes today. And I just want to say I have really enjoyed doing these gratitudes. We are going to continue the practice, by the way. It's the arrangements have been made. Even though this is my last day, the gratitudes will be continuing. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep submitting those gratitudes because they're absolutely wonderful. And we do these gratitudes because we teach here that what we be, we receive more of. And when we are in a place of gratitude, we're going to receive more of stuff to be grateful for. So that's why we do this. So here's the gratitudes for this week. Yard work. I can be grateful for that. I am grateful for that. I get to do that tomorrow. Crazy cat people. Abundance. Family get togethers. Reverend Drew for minister. Yeah. Explanation point. This thing called life. Running pure water. Soft spring rain. The search committee. And they did do an excellent job, by the way. Here's one for me, Reverend Karen. Somebody's grateful for me. Yay! Thank you very much. Center for Spiritual Living, Tacoma, my spiritual family. Drew and his loving heart and compassion. Drew's hitting it a lot for gratitude these days, you guys, which really does my heart well. Where am I? I lost my place. Center for Spiritual Living Retreat Center in Oregon. It's called Camp Cedar Ridge. Abundance in every area of my life. And I'm going to expand that to abundance for the entire Center for Spiritual Living community because the abundance is showing up right now in growth. It's showing up in activity. Next step is it's showing up financially. So I'm knowing this to be true for Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma right here and right now. Onward with the gratitudes. Realizing with gratitude some of the legacy left by Reverend Francis and Mario. A building that is in much better shape than how they found it. A core of skillful practitioners. Countless memories and lives improved. Looking forward to a future unfolding of this community with Reverend Drew. Blooming wisteria and red hawthorn. The many reminders of God's love for us. Reverend Drew's warmth and enthusiasm. My ancestors who love and guide me every day. Seeing my grandparents and parents' face in the found family. Forgiveness and compassion for those who hate me. And so here is what my final message to you is today. I wrote this out a little bit ago. I also had Bev publish it in the newsletter. And I just want to say before I read this statement, it has been a wonderful 7 months with you all. It was never an intention on anybody's part for me to stay here for a very long time. I came in as an interim minister, and interim ministers have a very specific job to do. Their job is to facilitate successful transition. And so I'm here today to say that I believe your transition has been successful. It's not complete yet, You have one more transition left to do, and that's to attend the town hall meeting next week. Yeah, June 4th. So show up, participate, do the deal. This community is growing and it's awesome. So here's my official letter that I wrote. As most of you probably know, this is my last week with you. I have spent a wonderful 7 months with you, doing my best to facilitate successful transition with all of you. And I just wanted to say thank you. Congratulations. And you are doing good work. And keep it up. Many of you have attended the workshops I offered, and it shows. It shows in very wonderful ways. I've watched this community come alive, and it does my heart good to see that. I know I am leaving you in a great position to succeed and continue your onward, upward, and forward journey. It has been a pleasure working with you all. So thank you very much. Namaste out to you.
Thank you, Reverend Karen. There are some cards for Reverend Karen back on the table over there. Is that back on the table over there? Please go back, sign the cards, thank her for the wonderful 7 months that she had here. And now I turn it over to Laura Lee for our opening prayer and meditation.
Thanks, Cindie. Good morning, my beautiful family here at Center for Living-Tacoma. There has been a word that has been going through my beautiful brain this week, and that is joy. So I would like to open this moment with a meditation from the book that we practitioners, as well as anybody else who would like to become our leaders in a community as practitioners, and that is The Science of Mind. And it's a meditation that I'm going to read slowly, and I want you to think about the words that are being spoken. So if you would like to firmly plant your feet here on Mother Earth, close your eyes if you'd like. The joy of the soul. My soul within me rejoices at the realization of life. I am made glad as I behold my inner light. I cannot be sad nor depressed, for the all good has claimed me as its own. O soul within me, rejoice and become glad, for thy light has come, and thy day of salvation is at hand. Be still within me, and behold him who sitteth on high. I rejoice in my life within me. I rejoice. With the light, with the joy, with the all-knowing. So with that, I'm going to open up with a prayer, knowing that I stand before you as a child of God because I know that my God, my source, my creator is all powerful. And with the light that is within, with the joy that is within, and with the enthusiastic way of being is here right now. I rejoice in the words that will be spoken today. I rejoice in the music that will be played and sung. This I know to be true because I feel it. I feel it right here, right now. I'm so very grateful for this moment. So very grateful for the joyful, enthusiastic world that I stand in. There is no other place to stand. The gratefulness abounds. And with that, let us say, and anchor it with bountifulness and joy. And so it is.
Thank you, Laura Lee. And now, here's Jim Valley, our musician whom we all know and love. And the song is called Walking into the Afternoon.
Ta-da. Hello, Mom. Does that work? Is that working? Walk into the afternoon. Beauty that we see, love lies between. Stars in shimmering light, dreams that feel so right. Loving that we share, and all the pain we bear. Leave traces, traces in the light. Traces, traces in our lives, on our way, walking to the afternoon. Morning comes at last, embrace this moment, release the past. Surrender to this day at hand. Oh, I will follow you. Life comes calling to you. Walk into the afternoon, beauty that we see. Love lies between stars in shimmering light, dreams that feel so right, friends that come and go, glory we could know, loving that we share, all the pain we bear, kindness we could show, truth we've come to know. Walk into the afternoon. Walk into the afternoon. afternoon.
I'm just going to introduce you. And now we have Laura Lee, who's going to do our reading.
Thanks, Cindie. Sometimes I don't know how to handle the recognition, I guess. I guess I just do this because my heart is just with you all. And so thank you, Cindie, for wanting to introduce me. And I just want to come up and do, just be. So, I do have to say, though, Reverend Karen was talking about 7 months. In my culture, I'm an American Indian woman who stands proud before you. 7 is a very spiritual number. And when she mentioned that, I just smiled, knowing that we are all here. 7 months later, 7 months, 7 generations before and after we come, so. Oh my goodness, I just love being here. I love being it. A call to joy. When we are cheerful, when we are filled with joy, we are filled with God. For God and joy are synonymous. Joy opens all the floodgates of the heart and lets God in. So go out and be joyful today. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. Let me see where I am here. Okay, so Jim's going to come up and do a very special song. It's called Let Light Touch You, and Jim has put the poetry of St. Catherine of Siena to music. So here's Jim.
And Catherine lived in 1342 to 13...
Yeah,
and she was a good saint. Oh, right. And there's a place in here where I'd love you to sing along with me if you feel so moved. Work so hard to fly, no matter what heights we reach. Our wings get folded near a candle at the end, where nothing can enter God but God herself. Our souls are divine glory that no sentry wants to stop. Our souls are divine glory that no sentry wants to stop. This life he gave the shell, daily struggles we all know. Sit quiet for a minute, feel the wind. Sit quiet for a minute and feel the wind. And let light touch you. Let light touch you. Together. Let light touch you. Let light touch you.
And now, Mona Williams will give the message for today, which is called Lights, Camera, and Action. Mona always has wonderful things to say to us.
Thank you, Cindie. I don't know why there's been so much trepidation going through me with this service today. I love the title, and I thought, ooh, they like for me to get theatrical. Lights, camera, action. But first of all, I want to say thank you to Reverend Karen. The theme for this month is light within the shadows. And Reverend Karen came to us when we were in the shadows. Not a negative place, because Reverend Francis is retiring, but there we were with somebody that had been a leader for 25 years, and here we are with an open space. And Karen came in with her bright light and shined through the frustrations, through the laughter, through the cooking, through it fundraising and all, and we were graciously blessed for her presence with us. And so at the end of this service, I'm asked our practitioners that are here today to come up and just say something to thank her for standing in the light and holding the consciousness for us as we go through this transition. Thank you, Reverend Karen. Thank you. All right, you guys, lights, camera, action. I've gone through some stuff with this. It was like, I didn't know, I'd given Laura a prayer to read, and I pulled that out a couple of weeks ago. I was reading the Science of Mind magazine. It's like, bam, that sure looks like that's something to talk about with light. Then I was sitting at my desk, and I wrote this. Have you ever teared up when talking about your condition and comparing yourself to another? The tears come from the soul. You were even in a mood to go there, but there it is. You weren't even in a mood to go there, but there it is. Tears in the corner of your eyes and the full emotion rushing up from your chest, wondering, where did this come from? Walking around feeling like everything is right in the world, and there is this thing hanging out, ready to burst through. If only I would give it time. What is hiding in the shadow of my life? And I don't know, I can't tell you right now what brought it up, but it was just that moment. You know when you have those moments where things are kind of pushing up to come out, and fear is kind of pushing it back, and it's having this fight within you, and there's the tears, and you're saying, Spirit, I really want to do this walk. I want to shine brighter, Spirit. I just want to shine brighter. Help me. Be there. And I have a tendency, I was sharing with a friend last night, I have a tendency to get in those moments where, yes, I do want to shine lighter, but it's scary. And I reach out. It's as if there is somebody right there and I'm reaching. It's like a little kid and you're getting ready to grab your mother's hand or your father's hand just to be that comfort to say, you can do this thing. So I just reach out and realize there's not an actual figure there. Spirit's there. And Spirit is the comforting light, the comforting guide for me to move to the next step. So when we talk about light, all of us have the light that shines through us. But at the same time, all of us have shadows, whether we want to admit it or not. And shadows don't have to be the negative. Shadows may be that part that protects you, protects you, that you learn when you're younger. And believe you me, I know it. When I was younger and left home and I was on my own, not knowing a blasted thing, not knowing, and I was running. All I knew is I needed to find some peace. I needed to find some place that I felt accepted. It really was to accept myself, regardless of whatever was going on. But when you're young, you don't know those kind of things. You don't know that it's okay to be there. And you're looking for that peace. And the peace could be around the corner. The peace could be a friend of the family's home if there's not peace in your home. But you don't know that. So you have to find out. And it takes growth. But I have to say, for me, I've always believed in God. Always. As a child, when you're in church, Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. You know, I don't know how many people went to church and you had to dress up. You got dressed up at Easter. And so you had to learn a verse and go to the front of the church and say that verse. You got ready to eat. You always had to say a blessing before you eat your food. And I still bless my food before I eat it. I mean, nobody at the table may do it, but that's my light. And I realized today when I was getting ready to leave home, and the nephew, he came out and I was like, oh, are you going in the restroom? He says, no, you're getting ready to go take a shower. I said, yes, I am. And something came about me with looking at the talk that I was going to do today. And I wrote up a bunch of stuff, and it's like I had gone outside and sat down and meditated, and I said, Spirit, just work with me today, because I'm nervous about this. I'm really nervous about lights, camera, action. So I realized when I saw Thomas standing there, that's the nephew, he stays with us. And I had to say, you know what, Mona? You do let your light shine. When someone is feeling bad and doesn't know, and I can't fix it for them, but I can surely be there to be an anchor for them, to let them know that they're loved, and to let them know that their light shines bright and that their light can shine brighter. Don't get stuck in the darkness. I want you to look for the light. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? And I look at him and my grandson are the same age, and I just look at them with love. I'm like, you've got so much life to live. You can do so many things. And this brings me up to something I'd mentioned to a couple of people this morning. I got a call last night. And at first I didn't answer. It was kind of late. And then she called right back. And so I said, you know what, I better answer this. And she says, well, I have to tell you something. Are you sitting down? And I said, I am sitting down. What's going on? She told me this young lady that I met last year who just passed the bar died. And I was like, oh my God. She had so much potential. She was such a joyful person, and the light was cut out just like that. I don't know what happened, but I do know this. I know that she had the potential for her light to shine bright. She was already shining bright. And her father, he's the one that was behind her. He was just like, oh, she's going to pass the bar. She's getting ready to take the bar. I'm thinking, okay, Ali, it's okay. She's going to pass. She's going to pass. So I just had to, I went back and looked at that and said, wrote down some things, additional things. A lot of us, we've already been there. We're on that other side of the 30 thing, maybe the 40 thing. I'm way on the other side of that one, so. But I wrote down gratitude. When we think about our light, When we think about the shadow, don't stay in the shadow. I'd say shine some light on the shadow, and whatever it is in the shadow part of our lives that you want to release it and fill it with love. Give God gratitude for having that shadow. That shadow is the shadow may be the very thing that took you to the next place in your life. And I asked myself, with gratitude in my life, am I showing up and engaging and participating? Are we all participating in life? What is the thing that you'd like to do that you haven't done, where you can let your light shine? I look at it as career. Sometimes you do a career, and you do that career because that's where you establish yourself, and you're not being fed. Your light is very dim because you go in that office and you do the same thing, 9 to 5. And then there's something that goes on outside and says, oh, I really like that. I wonder if I could do that. That's when you step into the light and you talk, you treat, you have the faith to say, you know what, Spirit? I know that you can help me, even if it's a little step. Working with community. Ooh, those people are the same people as we are. They just have a different circumstance in their lives. Their shadow, in many cases, has taken over the light. Although there is a beam of light, because where there is light, the darkness will dissipate. So we keep working at that. Are we taking for granted our time here? And are we being genuine, honest, and authentic? Or is the show because they're filming? Did you guys get that one? Are we taking for granted our time here? Are we being genuine, honest, and authentic? Or is it a show because we're filming? Lights, camera, action. I ask people like to do comparison. Oh, well, and not here. I'm just going to say, in my past experiences. Ooh, she was looking, or he was looking really good. Ooh, look at blah, blah, blah. And I always say, you don't know what's going on with them. People can dress it up. I had a young lady working for me, and a young man, and the young man is still my friend. But Jason, good gracious alive, all these girls were like, ooh, Jason, blah, blah, blah. And so one of the young ladies, she was sitting out in the front of the building. I worked in Walnut Creek. She was sitting out in the building. We had had a night shift for a little while. So I pulled out of the garage, and here she was sitting here on the steps waiting for her mother. So I said, I'm just going to pull my car over and wait with you, because I don't care where you are. You're a young lady, and it may not be that safe out here. I don't want you sitting out here by yourself. But she was going on, well, Jason. I said, sweetie, let me explain something to you. Everything that glitters is not gold. That's where we get that, are we really being authentic? And Jason was being authentic, and I understand why the girls love him. I called him my MacGyver, because he could fix and basically do anything. But it's that vision that all these girls, you don't know what's going on in his life. But it's wonderful to be a light that says hello and recognize. They may be looking all that, well, Susie, how are you doing today? Not saying Susie, just using the name. How are you doing today? And you can see that there is some kind of a bit of a shadow dimming their light because you've taken the time to know them. It's not just about the clothes. It's not just about the appearance. It's about that very presence that's living in and as that person. And sometimes we walk around and our hearts are broken, our spirits are low, our light is not shining, but yet we'll be dressed to the nines, And so is it upon us, the other ones whose lights are shining brightly? And we know we have our shadows, but today that's not the point. Today the point is I'm going to shine even brighter. And I want to shine my light and share my light with you so that I can help you, at least give you a point of encouragement to let you know you're not alone in this life. God is always with us. And because there's only one, today I'm showing up. I'm showing up and my light is bright, even in the shadows, with the shadows. So there I have to say, lights, camera, action. Hold on, we're not done. We're not done. We've got a couple of more, and then I'm going to read something to you. I think also when we look at this thing of light, when we have that shadow part, the shadow part that maybe you want to release, definitely use forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Forgive whatever had brought that into your life and let it go and fill that space with love. Love is for the self-awareness, love of self, and love for others. Take a chance. Live out loud. Allow your light to shine brighter. I just want to read a piece for you to end. How much are you worth? Everybody, every person comes into existence with the secret to creation contained within them, but they do not know it, at least not at first. The greatest discovery an individual can make is that he or she is spiritually equipped to handle the problems and the task of his life, that they are born with weapons for every encounter and equipped with the necessary qualities, attributes, and capacities which enable them to make a success of their life. In other words, we have what it takes. You have what it takes. You have what it takes to be healthier and happier than you are now. The greatest event that can possibly happen at any time, anywhere, to anyone is to discover of this simple truth that the kingdom of heaven lives within. That reading is from the Guidance for a Spiritual Journey by Dr. Daniel Morgan. And with that, I have to say, each day, let your light shine. Live a little brighter. Let it shine a little brighter. Don't get caught up in the dark side, the shadow. But on the other side, appreciate the shadows because the shadows make you who you are. And if you're accepting yourself, all of you, take all of you and love all of you. And remember, lights, camera, action. There's one time around, you guys. Let's make it good.
Pretty darn good for being nervous, huh? Yeah. And now Jim Valley with a song called Family. Family.
Thank you. So I just want to say one thing about light, that there's a concept that light attracts shadows and shadows attracts light, kind of like some really nice person can attract some really not so nice person, right? But at some point, an old wise man said to me that light attracts light. That makes sense? And I think that's a deeper truth. This is called family. Some say it's real. rather have a quiet mind than all the riches I can see. And if I had one wish, it would be everyone would see we're just one family. And if I had one wish, it would be everyone would see we're just one family. Just one family. So I raise my hands, hands high in the air, knowing you are everywhere. And I do, and I try, and by you I am you. And I raise my hands in prayer, knowing you are everywhere. And I do, and I try, and by you I am you. And I do, and I try, and by you I am you. And I do, and I try, and by you I am you. Thank you.
I just love his voice. So I'd like to ask the ushers to come forward. Please join me in saying our offering prayer together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is.
To segue into the wonderful message of Mona Williams, lights, camera, action, I'm going to be playing Ashokan Farell. Lights, camera, actions, because this music was used in the PBS series, The Civil War. I'm sure that you're familiar with it. And I am also saying a few words because I sent Laura the correct name, spelling of J, Unger, and then I changed it to Unger, and that was wrong. So it should be Unger, and here he is, Ashokan Farell. He's a violinist, and he wrote this very beautiful song. Ashokan is from an Iroquois word from upstate New York called a place of fish. And it's a very touching song because it's been used, as I said, as a background music for the Civil War, and also as background to read the letter of Sullivan Ballou, Major Sullivan Ballou, to his wife Sarah, who during the Civil War wrote this letter, and you can read it. It's very a touching letter. And a week later, he was killed in the Battle of Bull Run during the Civil War. So it's a very special music.
Let me just tell you what's going to happen from now on. Laura will come up and do our healing prayer. Then I'm going to do the announcements. And then all the practitioners will come up and say their goodbyes to Reverend Karen. And then we'll have our final song. Okay? Laura Lee?
Thank you, Cindie. My hands are freezing. Let's just all take a deep breath together. And I just want to thank Miss Mona for her beautiful words. Thank you. And Cindie, you are a hostess with the mostest, girl. I love that. And our beautiful musicians who come and play from the heart, because that's where music starts, is within the heart. And they shine. What a blessing. So with that, if you care to close your eyes, if not, that is okay too. Just knowing that God is all there is, that the Spirit just shines through me, as me, around me, knowing that there is no other place to be except right where you are at this very moment. And I'm so grateful for that, because this is what my God does and is a blessing to one and all, knowing that we are all complete, perfect, and whole at this very moment. If there is anything that's troubling your heart, just know that the practitioners are here. There's other people who are able to just be a conduit of a listener, knowing that it is all good, because there is no other way to be except peaceful, joyful, enthusiastically full of love. We all have that sunlight of the Spirit that we walk in, though it may feel like we're trudging a road. But just know that that road is paved with beauty, with an amethyst of joyfulness. I'm so grateful, so very grateful for the heart that is in this room, this very moment. And let us all say together, and so it is.
Thank you, Laura. So, the announcements, your favorite part. So the first announcement is that Ty has seeds. Ty has seeds. And those are available free, is that right? As well to anybody who made an extra donation, a new pledge, or increased their current pledge. So if you've done any of those things and you want seeds, see the tall guy right there in the green shirt. A handsome gardener. I'm looking for my announcements. There they are. Okay. So there is a new class that's starting June 14th. It goes to August 2nd. And it is 5 Gifts for an Abundant Life, facilitated by our one and only Mona Williams. You can manifest the 5 gifts: gratitude, intentions, forgiveness, tithing, and surrender. The course will be taught here and online. There's another new class, This Thing Called You, facilitated by Doug Taylor. Has anybody read the book, This Thing Called You? Fabulous. So I'm sure this class is going to be fabulous. Whether you are new to Science of Mind teachings or have been practicing for years, you will find this course invigorating as you explore various dimensions of being and reconnect with Source. The class is on Tuesdays from June 6th to July 18th. You can look up online at our website and see more information. Next week, June 4th, this is a really important service on June 4th. We're going to be voting on our beloved Reverend Drew. So please come. It's also the first Sunday of the month, and it's our potluck, so bring things. We're going to have our potluck up here. We'll probably take about 15 minutes between service and the beginning of the town hall meeting, and then we're going to get this done, okay? And then we're going to celebrate. We have a second Tapas and New Thought event that's coming up on June 17th. If you weren't here for the first one, you missed something fantastic. The second one, I'm sure, is going to be just as fantastic. Check it out in the week's newsletter or go directly to the website and sign up. Please sign up so we know how many people are coming, so we know how much food to have, okay? Mark your calendar for the weekend of music and arts, August 18th through the 20th. More information coming soon. That's going to be a phenomenal weekend. Look at all the stuff that's going on here. Wow, we are cooking. The practitioners, our spiritual coaches, they're ready and willing to help you navigate solutions to change and transformations with affirmative prayer. So please join them in the prayer room back in the back there, after service for a brief prayer circle. And then every Thursday at 7 p.m., Drew and Laura Lee lead the mindfulness meditation here at the center. And this is open to everyone. And now I'm going to ask the practitioners come up and say their few words each to Reverend Karen, and then we'll have our closing song.
Is Reverend Karen still on? Oh, she logged off.
No, come on, you still
Come
got
on,
to do it.
we can come up and say something. Just, yeah, just state your statements of gratitude.
Well, what will I say? Now that I know she's not watching. Well, when this started, when we first were aware that Frances was leaving us, I always saw the light. I never saw any shadow with that. Frances was great. Mario was fabulous. And they now have a fabulous life, retired. You know, so I'm grateful for that. And so welcoming Karen was really easy because she brought the light with her. She really brought the light with her. There was never anything that Karen helped us with or suggested that wasn't forward, that wasn't absolutely forward thinking. There was no limit. She really saw, it wasn't that she just believed it, she knew it, that we were going to be successful, that we were a beautiful, beloved community that needed to stay together. And she dove right in to make sure that was going to happen. She organized classes, committees, services. I mean, really, all in a matter of days. And she brought us up. It's the Maya Angelou, together we rise, and we have done that. And will continue to do that. And not only that, Karen established in my vocabulary a word called woogly and yeehaw. And those are two pretty uplifting words, if you knew how to use them. So I'm grateful. What?
Don't forget yummy.
Oh, and yummy. Everything was, yeah. So I am grateful for Karen, Reverend Karen's presence here, and I know that she's part of our success, a big part of our success. Thank you.
Yes, Reverend Karen was quite the yummy person. I do love that word too. every time she would say it, it would just fill me up with joy. And, and joy is one of those words that I have all over my house. So today I live in joy, knowing that Reverend Karen was the right, correct person to be here at the right, correct time. I didn't live in the fear of not knowing. I lived in the life of knowing that as a community, we yumminly, isn't that a great word too? Yeah, I know. Grow into what we have always known to be. And Reverend Karen just held out her hand with her heart and guided us, because she already knew that we were perfect. She already knew that we were whole. She already knew that we were full of success right now. And so as we continue to grow in this beautiful, successful Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma, we will shine completely. We will know completely that we are here right now, knowing that we had a beautiful mentor, a beautiful new friend of our community. Just beautiful, just beautiful. So thank you, Reverend Karen. I know that you will listen to these words, that your heart is full, and that we always continue to walk in the sunlight of the Spirit. Lemlets.
I also never had any doubt that we were going to pull through, and in a fabulous fashion. And when Reverend Karen showed up, I absolutely knew that even deeper. And all I can say is, I remember she said she was going to try to take some time off, and they might not let her. So I don't know whether she's got her next congregation to go to or not, whether it's next month or 6 months from now. But whoever they are, they don't know how lucky they're going to be. They really don't know how lucky they're going to be. Thanks, Karen.
Well, a lot of it has already been said. So I guess maybe I'll just say it a little bit different way. Reverend Karen was exactly what we needed at that time. And she knew when it was time to fold it up and move on and take the suitcase. But while she was here, she was so influential to our wonderful community. You know, we have grown by leaps and bounds. We have spread our word by leaps and bounds. And we've gotten to know each other because we became responsible for every part of this center. I don't know if you thought of it that way, but you know, she led us mostly from Nevada, where she lives. She wasn't here too much, but she knew what was going on. She got us all to make sure that we did all the right procedures so that things would get done, and they have gotten done in spades. And I'm just so proud of everybody that's here, and I'm so grateful for Reverend Karen.
I would just offer that what Karen did is something that we should all really take as a lesson, and that is spiritual practices. That this happens because of our thinking and our belief and our knowing of what is possible. And she demonstrated that beautifully. None of us perfect. It's not all going to be perfect, but it's perfectly beautiful just by being yourselves and who you are. And what she did so wonderfully is she fertilized the soil and prepared this garden. And Ty knows this because he's a gardener. And now what's happening is you're going to plant the seeds you want to see grow, and this thing is going to be a beautiful garden. So Karen, thank you for doing that. Thank you for preparing the soil for the magnificence that's about to blossom. Thank you.
And just to say again, Reverend Karen, I know you're not on, but I'm sure you're going to, I'm going to drop you an email and say you have to watch the service. At least scroll down to the end. Thank you. Thank you for being there for us, for leading the practitioner team, for leading the congregation, for doing so much to help us grow. It seems like we're party city every Sunday, you guys. It's like, whoa. It's like, come on in, have a good time. Here we go. Yeah. So thank you so much for standing there and holding the consciousness for us as we have gone through this transition, and we're coming out of it glorified, gracious, wonderful, enthusiastic, and excited. Thank you so much, Reverend Karen.
We are awesome, awesome. So, our closing song. So thank you all so much for being here today. Please stand, join hands for our closing song, which is I Release and I Let Go.